Yeah, why didn't you make a move as soon as you had the chance? Were you worried that my intel wasn't accurate?
No, I wanted to see if the shopkeeper would turn himself in first. All he had to do was come up to me and say that he didn't know where the synth had come from. If he did that, then I wouldn't have had to press charges on him.
He had the whole day to turn the synth over to Chevreuse. But instead, the moment I came up and blocked Chevreuse's line of sight, he took the opportunity to sell it off.
Yep, he made the wrong choice, even though the right choice was right there in front of him.
But you knew they wouldn't make the right choice.
Yeah, I knew. I was just hoping I'd be wrong for once. Enough about that, though. What did you want to ask me about?
Oh, you see, it's like this.
The Two Musketeers. You certainly have a good eye for a story. So what do you need me to do? Just be the action choreographer for the actors?
Yes, that's right. I want to make sure we get all the details right. I want the actor's posture and understanding of firearms to be as realistic as possible. However, I'm afraid this work will require a bit of your time, since you'll have to be present whenever we're filming. Also, as for the pay...
No need to say any more. I'll join.
Huh? Just like that?
Really? You're willing to help us with our humble film project?
Sure, it's no big deal. As I said, we've wrapped up our investigation here, so I don't have any other tasks on my plate for the moment. Besides, I personally really like this novel. I even have the collector's edition at home. Stories where justice prevails over evil never get old for me.
Then we've got a deal?
Yes, I'll see you on set tomorrow.
Oh my! I can hardly believe it! I should tell Lady Farina immediately. Oh, and I must tell the prop manager and lighting technician to get everything ready. We start filming tomorrow!
Calm down, Xavier. The film is going to take more than just a day to finish. Still, I should also head back now and start preparing the actors' costumes and makeup.
Alright, guess that's it for today then.
Traveler, Paimon, please stay for a moment. I have something to tell you.
Then I'll take Xavier back. Poor thing. He's so excited that he can't even walk straight anymore. I don't want to spend our first day fishing our producer out of the fountain. He'd better. Yeah.
Go, Barbara, go! So what did you want to tell us, Chevreuse?
Have you read The Two Musketeers? The story is about a pair of children born into the household of a baron and their struggle to survive together and take revenge for their mother. They were raised at the baron's estate, where their mother worked as a maid. The two were illegitimate children that the baron had with the maid, so they were never treated well by anyone. One day, upon returning home, they found their mother had been murdered and left dead on the floor. It was quite evident that the culprits were the other members of the baron's household, who never had any kind words to say to them. However, the baron was able to exert his influence and keep the whole thing under wraps. The mother's death was eventually deemed as a suicide, and there was no chance of bringing her murderers to justice. The two siblings decided to flee and someday avenge their mother. Many years later, members of the baron's family suddenly started turning up dead one after the other, all killed by gunshot. A rainbow rose was found on each of the victims' bodies, being the flower that the kid's mother liked best. The baron believed that the mother's soul had come to take vengeance on him, so he lived in fear each day. But it was actually those two siblings who had fled all those years ago. They relied on each other to survive and trained day and night, eventually becoming adept musketeers. They used all of their abilities to collect evidence and clues before executing their plan and exacting revenge on the Baron. Their actions let the truth behind their mother's death be known to all.
That's quite an exhilarating story.
Yep, the Baron got what he deserved for his evil deeds, and justice was able to prevail. It was just the kind of story I enjoy.
Oh, so is that why you were so willing to join our crew, Chevres?
You could say it was one of the reasons.
Oh, you mean there were other reasons too?
I've read the reports about you. Whether it was at the trials or when you lent your hand to resolve our nation's crisis, you've shown that you've got a strong sense of justice, as well as a great mind for deductions. Yes, you're as sharp as I expected. It seems you've experienced many similar situations before. There's been a recent murder case involving Muskets. The perpetrator's methods appear to be very similar to what is described in the novel.
Huh? Really? But Paimon didn't see anything about that in today's papers.
The Marechaussee Phantom hasn't yet released any information to the public because the investigation is currently at a standstill. The murderer is extremely cautious.
A murder involving firearms? But not that many people use those in Fontaine, right?
Impossible. We perform a routine inspection of our firearms and ammo reserves every day. If one of the weapons had been fired, it would stick out like a sore thumb. Besides, I trust the members of my platoon. However... Well, that's all I can disclose about the case today.
Huh? What do you mean?
I hope you all can go back and get some shut-eye. You can decide tomorrow whether or not you'd like to join the investigation with me. I'm aware this might not be the ideal time to add more to your plate, but the more capable people we have, the better the chances that justice will prevail. Carrying out investigations isn't actually supposed to be our responsibility. Our job is to apprehend the perpetrators. Finding them is really up to the Marechaussee Phantom. You could say I'm taking part in the investigation out of personal interest. I don't want people to see Muskets in a negative way, and also, I'm concerned about the similarity between the crimes and the story.
You mean they might be connected somehow?
I suspect so. Just to make myself clear, this is not an order, nor is it a deal of any kind. It's a request, nothing more. If you two have any interest in the case after we finish filming tomorrow and are willing to assist me, then I would be most grateful.
What do you think, Traveler? Yeah, you're right. Paimon's getting a little tired, too. We've really been hustling all day.
You'd better head back and get some rest. It's good to keep a calm mind, especially when you're about to make an important decision. Otherwise, when the moment comes, you might end up like that shopkeeper and not even realize that the right choice is right there in front of you.
Oh, how lucky I am to have so many kind-hearted people assisting me.
Yeah, just watch your step now.
Everything I've been through is starting to pay off now. There finally is a light at the end of the tunnel. Ah, I see it now. What lies before me is a whole world of hope.
No, what lies before you is the fountain. I hope you can start seeing clearly, or you'll end up taking a dip in it.
Here, Yoimiya. Try some conch madeleine.
No, you ordered it, Ayaka, so you should be the first to try.
To be honest, I ordered it for you. You're fond of desserts, aren't you?
Well, in that case, I guess I shouldn't refuse. Let's try some together.
All right.
This is amazing! Oh, the texture is so soft. You can feel the super rich aroma of butter as soon as you take a bite. And the aftertaste is pure bliss.
Great. I'm glad you like it. I enjoyed it too. And I really like the swirly design.
I've heard that it's supposed to look like a barrel conch. I've never actually seen one myself, but now I'm really curious about what it looks like. Hey, Ayaka, when you can find the time, would you like to go search for one underwater with me?
All right. Why don't we go right after this?
Great! Then that's a plan. There are so many places I'd like to visit with you.
Indeed, Monsieur Neuvillette. I'd very much appreciate hearing your thoughts on everything we just discussed, including my initial proposal and the general direction of our potential cooperation.
Your proposals are reasonable and quite well thought out. Your sincerity and wish for our mutual success was evident in your words, so there's no need to be so modest.
Thank you. So, what's your decision?
If you're asking for my personal opinion, I'm willing to cooperate in full based on my own opinions and my impression of Inazuma's culture. However, Fontaine doesn't run simply based on the feelings of one individual. I'm sure Inazuma must be the same. Everything must be done in accordance with the regulations that are in place.
Yes, of course. I will submit a written proposal outlining the details of our potential cooperation to the Palais Mermonia within a week.
And I look forward to hearing from you.